Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Abacus webinar. Today's topic is going to be using Abacus Payment Exchange, which is APX, within the Abacus billing program. My name is Perry Lafferty, and I'll be the host today as we go through this little webinar that basically gives the high points on how to use APX with the billing system. Now, we are recording this, so we will have the ability to hand out this recording, I believe, after tomorrow, so that you can listen to it in the future for reference or whatever you need. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, we are in the Abacus accounting program, which obviously is billing and accounting. So the first thing I would like to show you is where you're going to go to set up your firm to be able to use the Abacus Payment Exchange, or I'm just going to refer to it as APX. Alrighty, so over here under File, under Setup, you actually go into Company Preferences. Now this is basically to sign up for the using the APX. Here on the Credit Card Setup tab is the information that you will use to get started. I obviously have already signed up. That's why mine says that it is able to accept, it's active and able to accept credit cards. But what you're going to do is click on the link, and it will ask you to fill in 2 or 3 pages worth of stuff, not a whole lot, and then it goes ahead and submits it into the Abacus database, and you will get recognition that you have been approved and you're able to start. Now, you can see here on our screen, there is a choice for an operating deposit account and a trust deposit account. What we want to make sure is done here is that you choose the appropriate accounts off of your chart of account. Okay, so this little lookup arrow down here at the end will take you into that section of your chart of accounts that you already have pre-set up. Okay, that's already done for you. If you have additional accounts besides the basic that Abacus, that come with the chart of accounts in the program, like I have added a cost account here. Okay, so you can definitely add those in here and then select which is the appropriate account to be used. All right, so you just click on the one you want. We do this for both the operating and trust account if you do hold money in a trust account. Okay, at this point in time, we can only use one trust account. So we're going to have to pick, if you do have multiple, which one will be used with your with the APX. All right, so we get this all filled out and submitted. We've chosen the appropriate accounts, and basically that's it. You're done. Okay, now that is setting the firm up. Now, of course, we want to set up your individual clients with their credit card information. The way that is done is inside each of the matter maintenance. So I'm hoping you do have some familiarity with the Abacus program. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you please to sign up for training because we take you through everything. But basically, where we go to input the client information, credit card information, is under the Matter drop-down menu to the very first option of Matters. This is called Matter Maintenance, and I have set up a client for today. So let's see what I have in here. I believe I call them something very sophisticated, like the Abacus APX client. So a double click opens that up. All right, now after you have been approved for using the APX, you will have an additional tab down here that is labeled CC Info. This is where we're going to go to set up the client information. All right, so basically when you get here, you're going to click on this button that says Allow Credit Card or Electronic Checks for Bill Payments, because obviously besides credit cards, you can do ACH with the APX. Talk about initials. And also this over here is going to make sure, this option is going to be sure that every time you post a bill, the APX, Abacus will go out and hit the APX, charge the client's credit card, and transfer that money either over to your operating account, if that is appropriate, or into your trust account. All right, so this box right here is what's going to always make, when bills are posted, the APX active. Okay, so you want to make sure we've clicked both of these. Now, there may be times where you don't want to charge that client's credit card, and you will be coming back in here and unchecking that box if that happens to be the situation. Okay, so you pick up your client number, and then it will allow you to come in here and add their credit card info. This is a bogus, obviously a bogus account, but basically this is how it will appear in your information. Obviously, I haven't updated mine in a while, but I have all this information. It's very secure. It's encoded into the program, so nobody can hack and get in here and take it. So that's good in this day and age. Basically, you could set up more than one credit card if you wanted to. Okay, maybe the client has a couple of credit cards that they want you to use. Basically, you can set them up and then make one primary and one secondary. So after this information is added, of course, you're going to click Save and save all of the credit card info. So that's basically the 2 bits of setup that need to be done. Now, how does this thing actually work? How can I utilize APX within the billing program? Well, there are 3 instances of where APX works. Okay? The first one is for trust deposits. If you are looking to charge a trust deposit to a client's credit card, okay, you're going to come over under trust. All right. So we're going to go to trust deposits. And of course, this is a typical trust deposit. So we simply click on add. We pick the appropriate matter. I happen to have written this down so you guys don't have to watch me type all day. Oh, maybe I didn't write it down. Okay, come on. Get that out of there and let's look them up just like I do with everybody. Okay, there you go. Got to get the right number. And then, of course, the system is going to go and put in the appropriate chart of account number for your trust account. This is done, obviously, when you set up your matters way back. I'm not going to get all deep into setting up matters from Abacus Law, but when you are setting up your matter, you choose the trust account that the money is going into, and that automatically defaults here to our screen. Then, of course, you put in the dollar amount and a nice description. Well, before we get to the description, this is the most important box on the screen. Charge the credit card or ACH for this deposit. So you click this, and then you can put in here your information. We'd like to have lots of details here. So we come in, okay, and we hit done. All right, so upon posting, Abacus will then reach out and ping that client's credit card, which charges their credit card, and it transfers the money over into your trust account. It is as simple as that. All right, I don't believe my system is actually physically going to do this because it is obviously not a real bank account, not a real system. So you're just going to have to take it from here in that you're going to come in and post it, and of course, make sure you post it on the correct date. Abacus does charge 3% of each transaction, and you will get a statement at the end of the month that is totaling all of the transactions that are taking place. The 3% fee will be coming out of your operating account. We can no way take it out of trust, all right? So you don't have to worry about trust being overdrawn at any point because Abacus will only take the fee from your operating bank account. Okay, so basically we are here and we'd say yes, and it would go out and ping the credit card. Okay, mine, obviously I don't have a true gateway here, so it couldn't do that, but it would if your account is active. Okay, so now if that's one way that we can use APX. Okay. I do have a question here. It looks like Lauren is asking, let's assume you post a bill. We're going to get to that, okay, because that is the third way we can utilize the credit card, but let's see if I can answer the question. Let's assume you post a bill, the card is charged. Then after you realize there is a mistake, is the card going to charge when the bill is reposted? Okay, I can't see that audio button should be checked off by people because people make mistakes. Um, if you do make a mistake and you are going to unpost the bill, you also are going to hit void for the transaction. That's going to be on the matter billing activity. I hope to show you that when we get there. But it will void the transaction, and then yes, it will charge it again when you repost that bill. So you do have to void the transaction in between. All right, so let's continue here, and hopefully we'll be able to see that situation. So the second way that Abacus works with this APX, the billing program works with the APX, is through client payments. Obviously, trust is one way of having a client payment, strictly going into the trust account. The second way is through payments received here under billing. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. I think I just clicked on the wrong guy. Let's try that again. Good thing I don't drink caffeine. Okay, payments received. So we are again going to go into add and come through and pick up the appropriate matter. I think I've got it right this time. All right, which of course sets up the client number. Now, of course, you will be paying the appropriate invoice here, whichever one is to be paid. Okay, first I guess I should be putting in the dollar amount here. So the dollar amount that is going to be charged to the card. So let's say 559.43. All righty. There is the deposit account. Now, once again, this is supposed to be going into your operating account. All right. For those of you that may have noticed, I did set one up in my company preferences and chose a different one here. You definitely want to make sure they are the same. All right. So here is the button that creates the magic. Charge the credit card to ACH for this payment. Okay. All right, I need to set up on my chart of accounts to make sure the operating account is set up as on the chart of accounts. So let's just jump over there and do that, because if you get that message, what the heck do you do? So under File, under Setup, in your chart of accounts, make sure you choose the account you'll be using for APX, edit it, and after it pops up, you're going to assign it here as the operating account. All right, so make sure you choose that. Okay. All right, so here we go. See if it will take it this time. Okay, charge the credit card and pick your appropriate invoice. Okay, and it will obviously distribute the monies to the appropriate categories over here on the right, and we hit done. Now, once again, you want to be sure that, thank you very much. I'm just getting all kinds of things here, aren't I? All right. It will be posted here into the client payment posting bucket. And when you highlight it and click post, that's when it's going to go out and charge that client's credit card and transfer that money over. Now, I believe it's either 2 or 3 days that it takes for the transfer to happen between bank accounts. So it's obviously not immediate. It does take some time for this to happen, but the money will be transferred. All right, so that is basically the second way to utilize APX, either trust or straight into the operating account. Now, the third way, which I think is the best way to handle this, is actually through your billing. So you will be using Abacus to do your billing. So you are entering your time during the month so that the time tickets come through if they need to onto the bill. You've entered client costs so that they're coming through to the bill. And now you're actually going to run the bill. So we come down to print bills, and we're going to come in here and add the specific matters that we are billing for. And, this can be in addition to other matters. You don't have to do these singularly. It's just everybody that you have chosen for billing. If they do have APX information and credit card information set up in here, you can group post your bills, and it will go out and obviously hit all of those clients' credit cards and move that money into your operating account. So let's pick our guy here. Okay, and like I mentioned, you can have several and add to billing run. Okay, so we're going to, of course, have to generate the bill. I'll just quickly bring that up on the screen so that something does go into that posting file. So there's my bill. Okay, and I have a perfect looking bill. I don't need any editing. You know, I do all the training on this stuff, so it just comes second nature for me to have to talk about that as well. But your billing is totally done, so now you're going to post your bills. So upon posting this bill is when Abacus is going to go out and charge the client's credit card and move the money over, initiate the move over into the appropriate account. All right, so once I post, select and post, that's when it will happen. But once again, mine's probably going to yell at me because I don't actually have this set up with a real bank account. Uh, so now let's talk about what's happening here on the matter billing activity. So Lauren was asking, well, what if I make a mistake on the bill and I want to undo my bill and redo it? All right, so it's going to pop in here. And if you do have that payment showing here, you would highlight it. This is obviously it was done a long, long time ago, but it would be the most current bill that you're unposting. And what you do is highlight this and void that. And that will void it back out through the credit card system. So issue the client a credit. And then when you re-enter and post the next bill, it will then charge the matter again. Now, you have to do this voiding within, I think it's 24 to 48 hours. You can't wait 2 weeks and then go void it because the money's been transferred. It basically is going to remove it immediately. All right, so we don't want to have a long time frame in between. Now, let's talk a little bit about the reports. Okay, there are several reports in here. I do have one that had some data on it, so we can take a look at it. You've got your credit card and ACH reports here. Okay, we're going to talk about the activity report. All right, my time frame I'd like to cover. I obviously did have this set up at one time. You can see I did get some declines here, but then I also had some approvals. So the report will actually show you each transaction on the date that it was done for the appropriate client, okay, and matter. So that information is all here. So this is what you're going to be looking for at the end of each month to see what was when you get your credit card statement. The client gets their credit card statement. These entries will be showing on their credit card statement for each individual matter. Okay, one more little bit here. Someone along the line has mentioned minimum trust retainers. Can Abacus with the APX work with a minimum trust retainer? And the answer is yes. Now, of course, the trust retainer must be set up on that matter screen. So let's get back in here again and see where this field is. All right, here on the billing tab, over here on the right, if you do hold money in trust, well, this is where your retainer will be. I've never had anybody have operating retainer and a trust retainer, so this is strictly for the trust account. If you're asking your client to keep a minimum in there, let's say $500, what will happen at billing is Abacus will note that this is happening. So when it calculates the bill, it will show all fees that are due, all costs that are due. And then if the client needs to replenish that trust account to move it back up to this $500 threshold, it will add that onto the bill as well as the normal fees and costs that are being entered into the system. So it will bill for that minimum trust retainer. Then upon posting of that bill, Abacus will take that trust money and put it into your trust account. It puts it in as a trust deposit. So you will see that money going into trust. It's not going to be dumped into operating. It actually will be placed into that trust account. So the minimum trust retainer option does work with APX. Okay. Well, these webinars are pretty short and sweet, just trying to hit the highlights here. You can always sign up for a class that goes through the details with your particular firm, making sure that all the setup is done accurately and that the client information is entered accurately. And actually, we could do an actual posting to show you how it's going out to transfer that money. All right. So those are the three ways that you can use Abacus for the APX. We also have information about this on the Abacus Law or Abacus Next website, www.abacusnext.com/APX will take you in so that you can sign up there as well as within your program. All right, now I know that sometimes we get questions in our head after the fact. You're like, oh, I wanted to ask this question. Please feel free to submit those questions to webinars at abacusnext.com, and we can get those information back to you. We'll answer individual questions from y'all. Let's see. Can you set up, here's an interesting question. Can you set up a monthly recurring payment? All right, yes, you can set up a monthly recurring bill. All right, now obviously this is not AP, this is AR. So if your client, you have them set up to actually have that same bill generated month after month, you definitely can set that up on your Matter screen. Okay, and what will happen is you still have to process that bill because all the magic happens upon posting of the bill. So let me show you what I'm talking about here on the billing tab. If you do have a recurring monthly fee that you're billing to the client, you can either set up that monthly schedule so that it will pull it from here, or if it's the same amount every month, you just fill it in here and, of course, save the information upon setup. But when you post that bill, so you have to process the bill and post the bill, that's when it's going to go out and charge the card. It's nothing magical that happens all by itself, unfortunately. We still have to put in the work to process the bill. Okay. Good question, though. I hadn't seen that one. So there you go. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time today. I don't want to hold you up any more than we have. So thank you much for your time and attention here. And make sure to check out all upcoming webinars. We try to have a couple every week. The schedule for them is on the website, so you can see what topics will be covered. And of course, we always request topics from you all. All right, so we have our ones. We seem to always have those webinars, but if you'd like to see a different type of webinar, different topic, please feel free to submit your request. All right, guys, I appreciate your time and patience. That's it, and thank you all very much. All righty, bye-bye.